Alright. Well, Gabe made a little intro video for you.
Oh, dear
I'm gonna
goodness.
go ahead.
Gabe.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to watch it.
No, it's beautiful.
Not good enough by a long shot, I'm afraid. That's why I'll have someone on the outside looking in.
Looking in. Looking in. By whom? Are there evil Vatics? Are you in contact with other Vatics?
Who are you?
I'm Herman Boone. I'm the new assistant coach.
Well, for the looks of things, I'd say we got about all the help we need around here. Why ain't you outside there with all your little friends hollering?
Who in the hell is that?
That there's Forrest Gump, Coach. Just a local idiot.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever Nerding Out About interviews live at Moonlight Players Theatre in Claremont, Florida.
First time ever.
Yes, first time ever live
my
here on
goodness.
this stage.
Well, I'm excited.
Today, everyone, we are talking with the actor. Yeah, no pressure at all. Today, we are talking with the actor Brett Rice, who many of you listeners may recognize from the vast number of films he's been involved with, ranging from Edward Scissorhands and Forrest Gump to Remember the Titans and Super 8. With such an impressive body of work under his belt, your belt, we are honored to have this award-winning actor with us tonight. Welcome, Brett.
Kevin, thank you. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it.
So
Good to be here.
you have an amazing origin story, beginning with military academy.
Oh,
Would you tell us all how you became an actor?
Oh, you
Going
want to
down
hear that
path.
story?
Let's start from the beginning. Let's go
Oh,
straight
my
into
gosh.
military school.
Well, I was born in Chattanooga, Tennessee, raised in Atlanta, Georgia. Moved there in the long time ago. Went to Marist Military Academy. It was all boys school, military based. Got out of school. I was a jock. Was a St. Bartholomew's Episcopal Church where I would do Episcopal Young Churchmen, and we would do scenes or plays. We actually did Jesus Christ Superstar. We did. I was Jesus. He's not happy. But it was synced, so we didn't actually sing the words. Went to Georgia Tech after that, and for 3 months I was a model student. I was at the fraternity every day, and the classes once a week. My father found out about it and said he wasn't going to pay for it anymore, so I went and joined the Army. Said, well, I'll pay for it myself. And I did, went in the military from 74 to 77, and played golf for 3 years. It was a great job. Joined the military, played golf. I got out and went to DeKalb Community College, where I was studying to be an accountant. And a friend of mine, a little short guy named Phil, he was going to an audition at the theater at the college, and asked me to go along with him, and I did, and I went there and watched as he auditioned, and the director looked at me, and back then I was actually young and better looking, and we were doing the Hot L Hotel Baltimore, and the director saw me in the audience, or saw me out sitting in the seats, and said, have you ever done plays before? And I said, yes, I have, but they're nothing like this. He goes, well, we have a character that I'd like you to do, and it only has 2 lines. and I was the John who runs in and screams and runs out. Opening night, I forgot my lines. 2 lines. So I was going all the way out the door, and that was my first venue into community theater, or college theater actually. But then I, just kept doing theater, and I fell in love with it. I lived and ate, literally lived in the theater, under the costume rack where all our costumes were. I would sleep under there, and we'd build the stage, or build the sets, and I just something about the little light standing on stage at dark, and I kept, what the hell do you have a light on stage? It's for the ghosts of the theater, and it intrigued me, and so I would sleep there overnight just to find the ghost. I was gullible. I still am. If I get to a theater like this space, it's a beautiful space here, Moonlight Players.
Yeah, Moonlight Players Theatre.
Yeah, I just live 5 miles down the road, and I still haven't come out to see a show, and I regret that. Hey. I've done my share of theater. I just didn't want to get back in a stage again. Because the last one I did, I think, was called Burn This, and we won all sorts of awards in Orlando, but going through that process every night just drained me. And at the same time, I was doing film and television. But I get ahead of myself.
When did you make that transition from theater to film?
Well, I spent 3 or 4 years doing the Atlanta circuit, doing all the community theaters I could find, and went to Oklahoma to do a show with my girlfriend, 110 in the Shade, and I got back into town after she broke up with me. And I got in the phone book and opened it up and just started calling theaters. You never hear this. And I actually called this one cabaret company and said, I'm looking for a job, I'm an actor. And they said, well, we're doing a production of Gone with the Wind. It's a parody, a musical parody of Gone with the Wind. And do you look anything like Red Butler? And I said, well, my grandmother thinks I do. So please come down. So I did. And they hired me that day. And I've since talked with the writer, Tom Edwards. We got sued by the Markham Mitchell estate because we took too much liberty with her screenplay. So we had to change it to the parody of the parody, parody of the parody of Gone with the Wind. We used Cowboys and Indians. But it sold out for 6 straight weeks. That was my first professional theater job. And I'll tell you the truth, is the first night I went on stage, I told you this before. The first night I went on stage was Rhett Butler and Scarlett is standing on stage waiting me to make my entrance. Well, they had 2 steps that went up to the stage through the curtain.
Oh, no.
You got it. Best laugh of the whole run. I went through the curtain and proceeded to fall flat on my face. And Lynn Fitzpatrick, who played Scarlett, came up with the greatest one-liner. She said, welcome home, klutz. And the audience broke. And that was for 5 minutes. And the director, Chris McIntyre, said, I think we're going to add that. I can't recreate that. It fell over my face, right on my nose. But for 5 minutes, it was a standing ovation and laughter, and finally got through the scenes. And I wasn't a very good singer. So they cut 5 numbers I had to 1 and cut that in half. So but anyway, we finished the show, and I still know all those people from, I think this was mid-'80s, late 70s, early 80s. But I've kept in touch with them. And from there, I started tending bar and waiting tables in Atlanta. Well, Chris McIntyre was the producer of the show, and he'd always said he was going to do TV sometime soon. Well, 2 years later, I'm on stage on a Sunday matinee, and a kid sitting next to me on a couch as the play is going on. We're on stage, and he leans over and goes, hey, Brett, there's an audition for a TV show. You want to crash it? And I lean back, yeah, okay. And a fight ensued on stage, and then we could speak a little louder. Where is it? It's the hotel around the corner. So we finished the show at 3:30, and at 4:15 I walked into this hotel, walked into this room, and they said, you're casting, or who's your agent? And I said, well, I'm between agents right now. I didn't have an agent. And he said, "What's your name?" And yada, yada, yada. I said, "My name is Brett Rice. I'm in between agents, and I'm like to..." And I hear this voice from behind the camera say, "Brett, is that you?" Well, yeah, it's me. Who are you? He's, Chris, C.T. McIntyre was the same producer that did my stage show. He's now producing a soap opera in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And he said, "You want a job?" And I said, "Duh." I'm here. He said, "You're the bad guy." Gave me a 2-week contract. I did the soap, went to Los Angeles, got a call 6 months later. "Brett, we need you back here for two-year contract." I got a 2-year contract because I had the balls to crash an audition that I had no business being at. And it's, it's who you know, not what you know. Mm-hmm. That played into my life, and that started me into film.
Wow, that's
my
incredible.
First film was with Gary Busey doing the Bear Bryant story, which lasted 5 days, I believe, in the theaters, because they sued us as well. Wow. I have a lot of litigation in my background.
It's a colorful background.
And then my first TV movie was a 2-hour thing with Michael J. Fox and Rob Klein, I think. Rob Klein, the old comedian. It was a summer camp movie, and I can't think of the name of it at the moment. But that was my first foray into television movies, and I had a knack for it, so I kept it up, and it snowballed to where I am now. I mean, that's about as simple as I can make it.
Yeah. At what point did you end up doing Edward Scissorhands? Now, you told me this is just a quick preview to the story he's about to tell. Tell the story of how you ended up on set. You're going to love this.
Well, I got a call. I don't remember auditioning for Edward Scissorhands. It was shooting over in Lakeland, Florida, I think, or Tampa somewhere. And I happened to be in town, and I got a call. So they want you to come out and do this movie. And I said, all right. I was young and didn't have many credits. So I said, sure, I'd love to. And they were going to pay me scale. And I said, I don't care. You pay me. So I went out there, and it's Tim Burton's directing, and what's his name? Who's Edward Scissorhands?
Oh, Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp and Diane Wiest, I think, was the mother. Mm-hmm. Well, I drove in and parked my car and got out, and all these houses were painted strange colors, but all perfectly manicured and coiffed. And I thought this was odd, but I got there and got him to set. The first AD introduced himself and said, "This is Tim Burton, who's your director." Well, I didn't know who Tim Burton was. I said, just give me a job. I'm going to get in front of the camera, do my thing, and go. And he came as a lovely man, English, and said, "Well, right, Brett, so what we're going to do is do this, and you're going to walk up with your microphone, and you're going to ask the question to Johnny Depp's character of Edward Scissorhands." I said, "Lovely, but it's going to be a while before we do this, so if you'd like to be comfortable, go inside the house." So I went inside, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, Edward Scissorhands and Diane Wiest come walking, Johnny Depp and Diane come walking into the house, and here's a guy with the scissors. I mean, the whole getup was on, and his face was painted, and I'm looking, going, what in the hell have I got myself into? I have no idea what's going on. And I said hello, and he just kind of nodded back, and he went in the corner, and he just stayed. Johnny likes to stay to himself, do his thing. And Diane was very sweet. She said, "Would you like some tea?" Yeah, loved some, and they brought me some. And that was all the conversation I had. But then I go out to shoot the scene. Well, Tim Burton had a girlfriend, or a lady friend who was on set with him. My scene was to rush up to the door, stick the microphone in his face, and ask the questions, how does it feel, or whatever the lines were. 2 lines, once again, I remembered them. But Tim Burton's girlfriend was in the scene as well. And during rehearsal, she was fine and stood next to me and did her thing. But when we went to shoot, Tim goes, "Action." I go to stick my microphone out, and this blonde girl comes running in, hits me in the shoulder, bam! I'm going almost out of the shot. And I'm trying to say my line like this, and she's got her microphone out. Now she's right in the center of the camera. And I'm kind of on the edge. And I thought, you my first really huge movie with these stars, and I'm getting knocked out by this little girl. So he did one take, and that was it, and that was done. So my foray into that kind of a film with Tim Burton, the science fiction stuff that he does, was I got knocked by a little girl out of the show.
Is that when you started doing predominantly coach roles, and you were just at that point you were ready for the tackling?
Actually, yeah, I don't know what came after that, but I started. A lot of actors don't like to be stereotyped, but it's unfortunate. It's just the nature of the business. Mm-hmm. Not so much on stage, because on stage you can change yourself, chameleon effect. But in Los Angeles, on any stage, they see you as one particular person. And I had a stepfather who was the biggest racist you probably ever would meet. He would deny it, but he was. Except for the fact that my mother was a great woman. My mother turned me into the person I am today. However, in the mid-'90s, I decided to change my character. I didn't want to be. I was not handsome enough to be a leading man, and was too handsome to be a character actor. So I was right in the middle, and I went to my agents and said, "You know what? I don't want to read for these leading roles anymore. I want to do the bad guy, the antagonist. Okay, I want to do this." So I made a choice to do that, and all of a sudden I started working, but I kept working as that bigot, as the racist, as the sheriff or the cop or the lawyer who would kill black people. It's not fun to say, but somebody has to do it, and I was good at it. And I didn't have to do any work because I just had to think of what my stepfather used to say. And it just came flooding back, and that's since memory. You all know it. I just remember that and just incorporated it into my character, and I was really good at it. And I would say 80% of my resume has been racist at some point or another, because in the Southeast we were doing all the civil rights movies, from Selma, Lord Selma to Remember the Titans. There were so many civil rights movies going on, they needed to have a bad guy, and that's what I did, and I did it very well. I've been offered to do these roles again, and I'm, except for the fact that I'm not rich, I'm a working actor. I'm just like everybody else here. I make a living doing it, but I'm tired of doing that character, so I'm trying to change myself once again. And every 3 to 4 years, you have to take stock of who you are, what you look like, and what you want to do. And if you're lucky enough, you can make that change and have other people accept it. And I've been lucky, fortunate in that way. I'd love to do a lot more comedy, but 90% of my resume is dramatic and generally just nasty characters. So studios in Los Angeles do not, if you don't have a resume of comedy, sitcom, 1 or 3 camera comedies, they just won't see you. And but I like to do comedy. I really do. I finally got a couple this year, and one is Angie Tribeca, which is a new show on TBS, and the other was, I'll never remember the name of it, but a friend of mine who worked at Universal with me, oh gosh, I'll just never, it's hell getting older. I like to say it's because of my resume, it's so big. No, it's just, I can't remember. But she and I worked at Universal. I was a Ghostbuster. I was the original Ghostbuster. And she worked at the Hitchcock show. Now she's gone on to become this huge star, whose name I just can't not remember.
It's not Sandra Bullock, is it?
No. You remember the movie RV with Robin Williams?
Oh, yeah.
All right, the blonde.
Oh,
His wife, yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah, her. We'll insert it here as if we all knew the whole time.
Anyway, she was doing a comedy in Los Angeles, and I called her up, and I had an audition for it, and I said, would you tell the cast director to give me a shot, a real shot? She said, of course I will. So I walked into the office, and the cast director's there, and my first comedy audition, and nailed it, and got the part. And I went to the set, talked to her, and said, thank you very much. She said, Brett, I lied. I didn't do anything. So you got this job on your own. Oh, that's very nice. Now I got 2 comedy bits on my resume and 150 racists.
Oh God.
I'm not crazy about that.
Well, at least there's one drop of happy. That's sad.
I got that drop, but just recently I got lucky enough to be cast in True Detective, and for this video I will not tell you what we did. One, because I'm under, I can't talk about it. The other is the scene that I was in is not appropriate to talk about in front of ladies.
And you'd probably have to kill us all. And now you know how to hide the body since you were on True Detective.
I do.
Right?
I do know how to do that. But let me just say, Rachel McAdams and Vince Vaughn and Colin Farrell are wonderful people.
Yeah.
They were great.
Well, would you tell us a little bit? We're all sci-fi nerds in this building, and would you tell us a little bit about working on Super 8 with J.J. Abrams?
J.J. Abrams is a god, not the god. He's just a god. They call him Captain. He has a first AD who's Scottish, whose name I don't know, but he always talked to you like this. But he always called JJ Captain. Yeah, Captain, I'll get that for you later. Don't worry, I die. I didn't understand half of what he said. He just, back to one. What? Go back to when he started. I said, okay, I know that. I can do that. But we shot, I don't know, shot for a couple weeks, I think, and then they had some rewrites and had to come back. But the one night I was telling you, we had the scene outside the gas station where the monster is, you can see the trash cans blowing up and the police car and everything blows up. Well, JJ, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and we started at dusk. So we've been filming for about 6 hours, and there's a scene where I'm outside with the police car, and the demon is going to come out. JJ said, we need something here. And I didn't, who am I going to say? What am I going to say? He goes, wouldn't it be funny if we had dogs running through? You remember the scene? Yeah. And a pack of dogs runs through. That was at 2 o'clock in the morning. Made a phone call. They had trained dogs out there within the next 2 hours. Wow. At 4:30, we shot. And the dogs come running through. And what you don't see in the movie is they had a pack of 6 dogs, I think. Then they had a puppy. You didn't see the puppy. But it was a pack of dogs ran through, and I look at him like, huh? And then I stop and go back to the car, and then this little puppy comes running past. It's like Bambi. You go, whoa, how sweet. And that's a little puppy running by. You're going, when the... But in the final edit, they took that out. I just it was a little too funny. But then they blew up the trash cans and scared me to death. The big old trash hauler cans. They did it twice. The first time they shot, the guy didn't put enough pressure in the air cannons, and it goes boom, and the cans moved about 3 or 4 feet. And JJ's going, no. This has to be bigger. So we took an hour off, and they rigged it up again, and we shot it. And when they hit the cannons, I was pulling my pistol out of my holster, about like this, and at about eye level, and looking around, and the cannons went off. Scared me so bad I dropped the gun. Thought I was having a heart attack, and of course they had this monster, which we didn't know what it looked like, so they put this long pole and a little smiley face at the top of it. So you're looking up at that's the monster, and you're looking at a happy face, going, "Oh, I'm so scared." And you follow it around, and the next thing you're cut to black, and you go to the next scene. But the brilliance of JJ is that who else? Spielberg, if just a handful of other directors could probably go at 2 in the morning. Dogs. We need dogs. And then have them there and trained within 2 hours to continue shooting. And then we shot the rest of the night. But he's something. He commands everything. He's very nice to talk to. He's very intelligent. Those black horn-rimmed glasses threw me, but and he was very, very. He was accessible. You could talk to him easily.
Now, you said that he brought you back on set to film the end of the movie, right?
Well, it actually brought me back to film the beginning. we shot all my stuff out. And then I got a call about a month later. I was back here in Florida. And I got a call saying, Brett, we need you to come back. And it was JJ on the phone. Calls me up personally. Hello, this is JJ Abrams. I'd like to speak to Brett. Yeah, okay. Who? JJ Abrams. Oh, Mr. Abrams, how are you? What can I do for you? Well, Brett, we found that we've tested this thing, and nobody knows who you are in this movie and what your relationship is to Kyle Chandler. So we've written a new scene so we can introduce you, and I need you to come out to Santa Monica to film. And I, of course, said no. Come on, please. I said, yes, sir, when do you need me? He said, I need you in a few days. Can you come out? And I said, sure. He said, we'll arrange everything. So they got me out. And the funny thing was that they shot at Bad Robot, his production company, in their office. And they rigged this whole, put the set dressing and everything, and made this office into that opening scene with the sheriff, or with the deputy. And he said, Brett, we just have, people have seen the clips of it, and they don't know why you and Kyle know each other, except you're the sheriff, and you got caught. So they wrote this 2-3 page scene, and that's how it opens up, with me and Kyle sitting in the office talking about these little cubes, and which, when I saw the movie, I said, yeah, he's right. You had to explain. If you don't know who you're worried about or talking to during the rest of the movie, the audience goes away going, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
It's like having two cameras on film, or two actors on film, and if somebody says something and you never see them, you don't know who's talking to you. So that's why you have to have the reverses and everything like that to understand who's throwing out these lines, so the audience has a chance to let it sink in.
I got to ask you, having been to the Bad Robot location, is everything uber bright like I picture it? Like, are there lens flares down every hallway and, computer monitors? What is it?
Well, I'd like to say yes, but then I'd be lying. No, it's an office. Yeah. I mean, you walk in an office, it's a very well kept office, very neat, but and very modernistic. It's kind of very, very liberal kind of an office. Yeah. But just seeing Bad Robot on the side of the building, I just got a chill. That's incredible. Here I am in Hollywood, and I'm at Bad Robot, and J.J. Abrams, Steven Spielberg, and all the other boys.
Yeah, that's right. You met Steven momentarily, didn't you?
Momentarily, yeah. He didn't say much, but we were at a warehouse getting some shots. You had to do a cinematic shot around me so they can make the dummy face with the different looks. And Spielberg was walking across, and I actually just said hello, and he said hello back, and good to see you, and thanks for being in the movie. And I'm like, you kidding me? Mr. Spielberg, I saw everything you've ever made. But yeah, it was exciting, and what can I say? Everybody loves Super 8, and they love and I can't wait for Star Wars. Yeah. Oh my gosh! I just saw the first trailer for that.
Oh, you finally just saw it?
I just finally saw it. Yes, I know, I'm stupid. I can't keep up.
Where have you been?
I've been busy. I just came back from Georgia filming. And I was in Dahlonega. They don't have cable.
I don't think they have electricity, do they?
They barely.
Barely.
I got one bar, and they finally gave me the Wi-Fi. But I saw the trailer, and oh my gosh. Yeah. Chewie, we're home.
Oh, God, it still sends chills.
Oh, my God, isn't that something?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I saw Star Wars opening day in Atlanta at the Emory Theater. Same place I saw Easy Rider and Star Trek and all that. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Oh, I'm a big fan of that.
Absolutely. So you've worked with Malcolm McDowell also, who is such a fascinating actor. What was your experience like with him?
Malcolm is a nut. He's an absolute nut. Brilliant. He's got those great blue eyes. He is an avid golfer. Oh my gosh, when we met on Bobby Jones, we were at St. Andrews and sitting in the makeup chair doing makeup tests, and Malcolm walks in the room and says, hello, my name's Malcolm McDowell, how are you? I said, my name's Brett Rice, good to meet you, sir, I know who you are. He goes, oh, do you play golf? I said, yes, sir. What's your handicap? I said, I'm a 7. You're playing with me today. We're going to take some money. I said, where are we playing? He said, well, St. Andrews, of course, it's right out the bloody door. And you're, I mean, literally 200 yards from the first tee. And I went, okay. Well, my wife had to fly into Scotland the second day. So she's flying in the day that I'm talking to Malcolm, and she gets to the makeup trailer with her bags. And, you know, that it's a long flight, 11, 12 hours she had to fly. She gets there with her bags. And she goes, honey, I'm here. I'm going to go to the hotel. Are you ready to come to the hotel? I said, honey. Candace is her name. Candace is a lovely lady. She looked at me. She says, I've got the bags and I'm really tired. Let's go back and get some dinner and go to sleep. And I said, well, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and Malcolm McDowell just asked me to play golf with him. So I have to go play golf. She looked at me, if you could see me, her face was like this. You're gonna what? I said, I have to. It's Malcolm McDowell. And the producers are going out too. I have to go. What am I supposed to do? The hotel's right up the road. Oh, my poor wife, she wanted to kill me, but she understood. And she said, no, you have to do this because it's Malcolm and Jim Caviezel and everybody was there, and we're gonna Aidan Quinn and all of them play golf. And so I went up to play, and we skipped 4 holes because it was getting dark. We came up 18 with the famous bridge, stone bridge, and taking pictures. You could see flash bulbs in the dark of us walking up. And I finally get back to the hotel, and as I walked in, I got my wife, and I took a shower, and we were going to go down and have some dinner. And we walked by this young, beautiful, striking woman that I looked at, and I said, I know this woman from somewhere. It was Claire Filani. Claire is a gorgeous woman. If you've never seen her, you really should just Google her. She walked by us and smiled, and my heart just boom, boom. So we go downstairs to have dinner, and sure enough, there's the whole cast. Aidan Quinn, Jim Caviezel, some of the guys from England and Scotland, whose names I will never remember. Malcolm, the director, the producers are all downstairs. There's this huge fireplace in what is the Chateau Lawn of Scotland, sitting around with brandy and cigars. And, you know, I just had to walk over and say, hi, I'm Brett. And all of a sudden, the whole chorus of, welcome, come on in. We're having some fun here, drinking brandy and smoking cigars. And these are actors that, you know, you, as a normal person on the street, you just kind of be too shy to go up and say hello. These are megastars. Man, they opened their arms up, brought me in, and my wife and I sat on the couch, and we drank, and we ate, and we had fun all night long and telling stories. And what an incredible world we live in as actors that we can do this kind of thing. I would never have been able to go to St. Andrews or to Scotland, for that matter, had I not been doing a movie. Mm-hmm. And then to meet some of the shakers, movers and shakers of Hollywood, sitting there going, come on in, have another brandy. Bring us another round.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it's so lovely. It was. Truly, for 6 weeks, I was in hog heaven. And every film I've been on, most every film I've been on, has been that sort of experience. The lead actors are always gracious. Danny Houston from Magic City. Oh, gosh. Tom Hanks, when we worked on Earth to the Moon. God, what a lovely profession we're in. We can enjoy this. Whether we do stage or whether we do film and television, it's still the same. Once you get on stage or in front of the camera, you're a character. You're not a star. And it took me a long time to realize that. But now, and that movie was the one that turned the tide. That I said, well, I'm the same as these people, just a different income level.
What's one of the funniest things that's ever happened to you on set? Like, what is one story that kind of stands out to you the most as, like, I can't believe that just happened?
Oh, geez. Oh, well, remember the Titans. As I said earlier, Denzel, first time I had a scene with Denzel. Oh. The director, Boaz Yakin, don't know who he is, didn't know who he was, and I'd only seen Denzel in films, and Will Patton I'd worked with before. And that opening scene where Denzel walks in the room, he's got the football in his hand, you saw it up there. Mm-hmm. And I'm the racist coach. And I decided, very Southern, so I decided to change a word in the first line when I see him. And the line was supposed to be, well, who the hell are you? And I said, well, who the hell are you, boy? Cut. Denzel yelled back over, well, I am so-and-so, cracker. That wasn't in the script either. Oh, no. Now, you know, Denzel did Hurricane. I mean, he was a boxer. He runs 6-7 miles a day, and he's physically fit and could snap my neck like that. But he didn't walk over to me or anything. It was the director who pulled me off to the side and said, Brad, I don't think you want to call Denzel boy. I know where you're going with this, you know, the Southern thing, and this is the 70s, and that would be appropriate, but this is a Disney movie. And Denzel will kill you. So I changed it back to the, you know, you should say the words that they wrote for you, not ad-lib and add on to it. Basically, it's like stage, do the words.
Guess you got to fear the man that's been in Crimson Tide.
Yeah, really. I mean, you know, it's like a Mammoth play every time. Do the words. Mm-hmm. Don't make them up. So I learned my lesson real quick. But you know, Denzel and I got along very well, and Will Patton was great. And Greg Allen Williams, who was the other African-American coach with Denzel. I just finished working with him in a movie up in Atlanta, or Dahlonega. Greg Allen's doing great, and I've kept in touch with, well, that was, Ryan Gosling was in it. And
that's
of course,
right.
I've not run into Ryan lately, but he went from that movie to stardom. It seemed like overnight.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Hayden Panettiere was the little girl, and now she's Nashville star.
It's incredible.
That's just amazing to see what can happen. It can happen overnight. There's another young actor named Miles Teller who did Whiplash that won all the awards for J.K. Simmons. And Miles and I are close. He worked with me on Footloose, the remake. And we got close, and I, you know, called him up and said, go to the house, and just found out not too long ago that he has been hired. He was hired, and they shot the movie Fantastic Four. And he is Mr. Fantastic. Yeah. And I went, Miles, really? He goes from one movie to another, these Zac Efron movies, Insurgent, Divergent, Whiplash, Mr. Fantastic. He's in Atlanta now shooting Arms and the Dude. And I'm calling up going, really? I told you back on Footloose that you were going to be the next Johnny Depp, but I didn't realize it was going to be 4 years that you did it.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh, the guy is killing it. He's absolutely, he's such a neat guy. So I've been very lucky with the people that I've met and kept in contact with.
Well, thank you so much, Brett, for coming back on the show again. Thank you for coming to the theater.
Thanks, guys.
And thank you, Moonlight Players.
Thank you, Moonlight Players. Thank you. Enjoy your run. What are you doing now, right now? What are they doing now?
Yeah, The Wiz.
The Wiz?
Yes. It's a different take.
Okay.
It's a different take.
I wasn't crazy about the original one, so.
No, it is a different take because this cast only has one black member.
Oh.
So it's
wow.
Okay, so it is a different take than what you would, normally.
Well, it was off.
Yes, it's
a lot of white people around going, I can do hip hop.
Yes.
It's yeah.
You cracker.
Well, I was born in Florida. Okay.